Okay, class, welcome back to I have no idea what the hell is going on. The next movie in the MonsterVerse is here with Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire. Godzilla in particular is in a bit of a hot streak with the success of Godzilla Minus One in both box office and an Oscar win. But let me take a step back for a second. Okay, so here's my cycle of these Godzilla Kong MonsterVerse movies, okay? I watch the movie. It's not very good. The trailer for the next movie comes out. I scream out loud, I will be there day one. And repeat. I watch the movie. It's not very good. New trailer comes out. I will be there day one. And the New Empire fits right into that cycle. This movie is insane. Now I know what some people are gonna say. Who cares about blah blah blah? I'm here to see big monkey and big lizard fighting another big monkey. You just don't know how to have fun. Now the fun comment is just objectively not true. Okay, boom, 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 boom. I can go on. But I am not above enjoying big ass creatures fighting each other. Like, you think I'm not gonna enjoy watching them strap on an infinity gauntlet to King Kong? Of course I am. But these MonsterVerse movies just don't know what they want to be. The progression of these Warner Brothers legendary movies from the 2014 Godzilla to now just screams of people that don't know how to tackle these stories. And look, let me say off the bat, I think this movie is going to be compared to Godzilla Minus One, and I think that is a totally unfair comparison. They have completely different goals. But I've been feeling this for a while, and I think the filmmakers or creative executives, whoever you want to put on it, in charge of these MonsterVerse movies, don't know how to listen to the criticism and address that without losing the things that other people like also. Allow me to explain. One of the criticisms I remember for the 2014 Godzilla is that Godzilla is barely in the movie. Now, personally, I disagree. I actually like that movie a decent amount, but regardless, I know a lot of people wanted more. At the same time, the scale of that movie felt the biggest. Godzilla's presence was felt more because of how they chose to show or not to show him. You move forward to Kong Skull Island, and they show Kong a lot. Okay, let's go. They listen to the people. And maybe this is just me, but I also saw other people say, well, I wish the world around Kong was better and the other creatures were a bit better, but you know, people liked it, whatever. And then you go to Godzilla King of the Monsters and people were saying, wow, these humans are so boring. Why are we spending so much time with them, please? And then Godzilla v Kong comes out and it's like, yo, we are here to see Big Monk and Big Lizard fight each other. Why is it taking so long? And now with Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire, I still see a movie that is trying to appease everybody, and it's impossible. Because I'm aware that the people who are buying a ticket to see this movie are there for things like this, okay? Kong rides Godzilla, okay? Kong tops Godzilla. Godzilla is a bottom. And don't get me wrong, I'll talk about it, but you do get that, okay? There are some scenes of these huge monsters doing some WWE Raw people's elbow type shit. You see Kong punch the shit out of a building, rest in peace to those inside it. But that comes at the end of the movie, and it's like 20 minutes long maybe. But okay, that's fine. It's the climax. What did you expect? Well, having seen it, I'm just not sure it warrants the rest of the movie previously being such an absolute slog. These humans suck. Okay, I'm just gonna come out and say it. These humans suck. They are so boring and uninteresting and written so poorly. Brian Tyree Henry, God bless that man, okay? He's doing his best to sell the shit out of his lines. And because he's such a good actor, he makes it passable. But on the page and just in context, when you really think about it, the writing for his character specifically is so atrocious. Rebecca Hall, another great actor. I mean, what is her character in this movie? Is she actually good at her job? Because the movie makes it seem like everyone else is good at her job and not her. She's just like struggling with her kid, kind of. Dan Stevens has the breeziest role. I mean, he just gets to show up and be charming, so whatever, that's fine, I guess. Kaylee Hoddle, I hope I'm saying that right, who plays Gia, is just like, oh, I don't fit in here, I'm sad. I have to believe that there is someone out there who is good enough at either writing and or directing so that we can have both. Because if they want us, and clearly they do want us, to care about these human characters because of how much time we spend with them, I just believe that there is someone out there who can make us care about them, make interesting stories and characters with them, and still have those big epic monster fights. And you might be saying to yourself, like, what are you talking about? I've heard that there are scenes, elongated scenes, where there are no humans in it. And you are correct. But those scenes are not that good either. You follow Kong for the most part, and you know, there are some parts of Godzilla alone, but they aren't together fighting or anything yet. That happens towards the end of the movie, as I mentioned. For one thing, clearly they care more about Kong. And maybe that's just because they decided, hey, Godzilla can't really do much. He is what he is. We can develop more with Kong. And you know, that's fair. And as seen in the trailer, and as said many times from that trailer, he meets and befriends what they call Mini Kong. And their relationship and the scene that they find each other or whatever is perfectly fine and suitable, whatever. But when I think of those scenes with no humans in it, I think of scenes where Godzilla is going around fighting these titans. Now that sounds awesome, and it should be awesome, but they treat these titans as basically just fillers to move the plot along. They are barely positioned as a threat. The fight scenes are very quick. It is just very hollow. Like, you feel nothing. You're just like, of course Godzilla is going to win. This is going to take 30 seconds. Now, sidebar, I do want to say it was kind of funny watching those scenes because there are no humans talking or anything. It's just like 15-minute scenes of like Kong screaming and other gorillas screaming and yelling and fighting, and we saw it in a pretty big theater, so I was just in my seat like, so that was pretty funny, I can't lie. Good choice there. Now, because as I mentioned, this movie doesn't know what it wants to be, and I feel like this franchise doesn't know what it wants to be, this movie has an identity crisis, and you can tell because this movie does not trust its audience at all. The exposition on this bad boy is crazy. Now look, I understand these kind of movies. If you want to spend the first half of the movie throwing exposition in our face, like, I'm just going to take it, like, whatever. But the audacity to be spelling out this movie still into the third act is like, what are we doing? Like, it's as simple as, oh, these humans find something. The humans will now read what it means, and they will spell out for you what is going to happen before it happens. We're in the third act. We're here, like, let's go. Let's watch these motherfuckers fight each other. Like, what are we doing? And the third act comes, and it turns into what people are probably expecting the movie to be, and they fight. And I realize that I haven't mentioned the big bad of the movie, and that's probably for a reason. It's like the Scar King or something. And I'm sorry, I just don't feel like this dude is threatening at all. I'm sorry. If you are telling me that this threat is so big that Kong has to team up with Godzilla, and I'm purposefully leaving some stuff out because they're clearly hiding it from the trailer, so I'm leaving some stuff out. But if it is so bad that Kong needs to team up with Godzilla to fight, I need to be shaken in my seat by how intimidating this guy is. And instead, whenever he's on screen, it's just like, yo, what are we doing? Like, just kick his ass. Like, he's not even that. This is totally personal. Now I'm just ranting. Like, this isn't that bad, right? Like, Godzilla has Godzilla has fought some much scarier looking creatures. Like, I don't know. That's just a me thing though. So you let me know what you think. I'm sure the comments on this video are going to be absolutely wonderful. And yeah, as I said, this movie is insane. And I know it sounds like I'm just like bagging on this movie, but like, I'm not even sure if I mean that in a bad way. I kind of can't believe how much they rushed through to get to the fight scene. I mean, they really said, all right, we're going to speed run this now. Because there are multiple moments where I literally sat back in my seat and I'm like, yo, I don't even know what the fuck is going on anymore. And then Godzilla will bust his beam onto another creature. And I'm like, hell yeah. I'm sure they'll find a way to keep milking this franchise for its juice. That sounds really weird. I'm sure they'll keep milking these MonsterVerse type movies. I don't even know what else is there to explore now. We can't go back to the sheer scale and dominance of the 2014 Godzilla. We already saw Kong and Godzilla fight each other. We saw them team up. We are very entrenched in the insanity of Hollow Earth and its mythology. Are we just gonna like run this into the ground until it can't move anymore? And listen, I know a lot of people are weirdly upset at like negative reviews of these kind of MonsterVerse movies, and if what I talked about, if that stuff doesn't bother you and you are cool with like just the 20-minute sheer bliss of seeing these creatures fight, and that 20 minutes is enough for you to sit through the first hour 40 and pay a ticket, then I'm happy for you, and I hope you have a good time. I'm sure a lot of people are going to enjoy this and think I'm being critical of things that don't matter, but like, they do for me though, even though I enjoy watching these monsters fight. I can't sit here and call this a good movie when I've seen other movies with like big creature monster fights that are just done better. Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, 2 stars. I cannot believe I've talked this long about this movie. This is like my longest review in a while. What the hell is going on?